Dragon Ball is officially back, and we gotta address some things that haven't been talked about enough yet. The Moro arc is confirmed, Dragon Ball Super is getting a remaster, the timeline is just finally moving, dude. Obviously everyone was saying, Toei finally cooked and all that stuff, but most people just talk about the announcement, a little bit of speculation, but I kind of want to just address a little bit of the visual side of things. You know, I've seen a lot of people talking about how the remaster looks so much better and stuff. While there is some great stuff in the remaster, it still has a lot of issues. I animate myself and I draw, so you're gonna get a little bit of a different perspective on this. And I have a little bit of a surprise for you at the end of the video. Alrighty, let's talk Dragon Ball Super. Why does this time feel different when it comes to Dragon Ball Super? Especially at the early stages of Dragon Ball Super, it had a lot of issues and we're all aware of them. Early Super did look rough, and it is not because animators were bad. The schedule for the animators was just ridiculous. And as the show progressed, it did improve, but even at the end of Dragon Ball Super, when it comes to the Tournament of Power arc, it was not on the level it should be. The character designs were also not good. They were done by Moro, and I think at this point everyone is kind of tired of the Moro style. You know, the art just looked flat, the shading wasn't really that great, the compositing was barely there. So in short, Dragon Ball Super doesn't look good most of the time. But here's why I'm optimistic now. It seems like Toei Animation has learned. If you look at One Piece, if you look at Dragon Ball Daima and the other animes they're doing, the quality is most of the time good. Dragon Ball Daima isn't perfect, but at least it is somewhat controlled. It didn't feel like they rushed things. Most of the time, the compositing was definitely better than Super. We don't have to argue that Daima looked a lot better than Super. Art direction is most of the time pretty consistent. I think what they're doing is they really want to make sure it looks good. They don't want to repeat the same mistake they did in Super. That's kind of the impression I'm getting. I'm also seeing a lot of freelance animators getting involved, even into Dragon Ball, in Dragon Ball Daima, let's say, or in One Piece. It just seems a lot more like they're gonna take more care into the production, which is just such a great thing for future Dragon Ball animations. Maybe us Dragon Ball fan animators don't have to look at the thousands of "this is better than Dragon Ball Super" comments anymore. I would be very glad, because holy crap, they were annoying. I'm seeing that Shikashi Kubota is getting involved more and more, which is just such a great thing. He is so damn good. We got Yuya Takahashi with this legendary Daima scene that he did. I mean, he was already involved since early Dragon Ball Super. We're 100% gonna get Naoto Shishida. We're probably gonna get Ryo Onishi. I think it's a no-brainer that we're gonna get the stars on the show, but I'm also super excited about all the new talent that's gonna join. We're gonna get a bunch of freelance animators now who have been waiting to jump into Dragon Ball as well. I'm just so excited to see more original Dragon Ball animations. Dragon Ball had always this kind of almost robotic movements to it. When it comes to visuals and stuff, rarely gets outside of the box. Like those scenes that you see in One Piece or My Hero Academia or other anime that absolutely go nuts. You don't really see that in Dragon Ball. And I feel like that is about to change. Now the style, I'm not sure exactly what direction they're gonna go, but if they're gonna get either like with Shikashi Kubota or with Shintani Nakatsuru, I think we're in good hands. Let's just hope Yamamuro is not gonna get involved. And if he is, I hope he's gonna get corrected. So I'm very certain the Moro arc and future Dragon Ball is going to look good. Now about the Moro arc itself, there are different opinions about it. For me personally, I think Moro's design is so damn cool, dude. It is actually one of the Dragon Ball designs that look original. The only concern I have is later on, he kind of changes his appearance when he absorbed someone. Like he just looked more like a generic like Cell type of character, you know what I mean? I think that's like when he loses all the originality. So So what I really hope is just that they're gonna lean more into his original design for longer. And generally, I just hope they don't go one-to-one with the manga. A manga adaptation shouldn't always have to be super faithful if the choice in the manga wasn't all that good. I think you should improve upon it when you adapt it. One thing about Dragon Ball fights, especially in Dragon Ball Super, is that fights lose their choreography. You'll have it here and there, but most of the time it is almost just flashy effects and fighting loops and not all that good looking movements. The Moro arc, especially the last fight with Master Ultra Instinct Goku, it would be so amazing if they really lean into the martial arts side of things. If they really show some really cool techniques with great choreography, well animated, nice music, I think that's just so much better. They really just have to tweak a few things, and honestly then the arc could be really damn good. Alright, let's talk for a second about the Beerus remaster. So what they're basically just doing is they're reusing the animation that was done I think in 2015, and they're just gonna do a little bit of color correction, new compositing, changing up the effects a little bit, and then just for the really bad shots they're kind of just redrawing them, reanimating them. Now why do some shots look insane and why do others still look rough or even worse than the original? Like, I think just working with those old files is what's causing it. There are those new shots that look a lot better, well, because they're doing them from the ground up. So pretty much all the shots that I've seen that were new are the ones that I think look good. The rest is sometimes a slight improvement, sometimes even a downgrade. Because Dragon Ball Super's character designer was Yamamuro, they are still going with that style. They're also reusing some assets I've noticed. For example, I think the Shenron was from Dragon Ball Super Hero, the model, the 3D model. In Dragon Ball Super, I think he was hand-drawn but barely moving. And then, for example, the Super Saiyan God aura, I think was straight out of Dragon Ball Super Broly. Look how big Goku looks in this compared to Beerus.
Yeah, I was gonna say Goku looks massive.
Too much detail in the aura. This looks like my TV is broken. Why is the logo so big? Now, I still think this is a good choice to do, even if some stuff doesn't look good in my opinion. Like, a lot of stuff here has still a lot of flaws. But I think this is still overall better than what Super looked like, and I think the choice of remastering it does make sense. I think the last Super episode aired like 7 years ago. Like, obviously die-hard fans will remember everything, but casual viewers or even people who just joined the series don't. So this remaster helps refreshing the memory, it builds momentum for the Moro arc. As much as we'd love Moro immediately, this is probably the smarter move. Now let's get a little bit into the timeline, what we're probably gonna end up seeing. The Beerus remaster is coming fall this year, so probably October. I have heard a lot of people say that Resurrection F is gonna get about 6 or 7 episodes. The rest that I'm gonna mention now, I have no idea if it is actually true. So generally, the Super Remake, apparently based on leaks, should be between 2026 and 2028. Then in 2028, we would get the Moro arc adaptation. If Toei actually gives this time, care, and proper art direction, Dragon Ball can be special again. Definitely make sure to subscribe because you're gonna see a lot of great Dragon Ball animations soon. The Dragon Ball Super Hero fan project is coming out this year too. And if you want to join the Discord server and hang out, feel free to do so. It's all linked in the description. Thank you guys for watching, I'll see you soon, and let's get ready for more Dragon Ball.
You couldn't even protect her! You won't survive me.